Hey everyone, in this video will be part 2 of our creative strategy series. And we'll be breaking down Brez. They are a brand that sells microdose cannabis and mushrooms in a can. It's a phenomenal product with a phenomenal team, and we had the pleasure of working with them. And funnily enough, they're actually the first brand that we've ever worked with when we started Creative Launch. Let me show you. So fun fact, this is actually how we started working with Brez. Back around the time we started Creative Launch, we started in January of 2024, but around February we started doing outreach or trying to kind of get some sort of traction going. And we emailed a select number of brands this pitch, which was a job application, and you can pause the video and read this if you'd like. And we linked like some of the ads that was made back at All About Vibe, which was a company that I worked at, and for a few of my other friends that kind of helped them on the paid ad side. But we reached out to them with a kind of a free job application. They weren't expecting that. Instead of pitching them, some sort of service, we said we'll work for free. Aaron, who's a founder, responded with send some samples, and then that was our in. We went in and we started scraping all of their assets from like TikTok, Instagram, ad library. We made them some samples like this.
This is a microdose drink.
Infused social tonic. Relaxation, clarity.
The quality is a little bit grainy. Again, we scraped everything. They didn't give us access to any content.
It makes me feel more social. It makes me feel more creative.
Feel really mellow and relaxed.
It tastes like a citrine lemonade.
Exactly how I wish alcohol made me feel.
But overall, we made them 10 videos as a quick sample, turned that around. They were quite happy. Obviously, the quality could have been improved because they scraped it, but they liked the narrative and flow, which is exactly what we wanted to go for. I'm not going to open these up because I don't want to reveal Aaron's email. But at the end of the day, we ended up going back and forth until we finally got invited into the Slack, and we got to work with Aaron and Corbin for a couple months. And then eventually they hired us on as kind of the creative team to help them scale. So it was very cool to see the behind the scenes of their explosive growth they had last year, continuing on to this year. But just want to share this fun fact of how we originally started working with them and how that partnership kind of grew. So anyway, I hope you enjoy the video. Liam did a really good job breaking down all of kind of what we did, what we wanted to continue to do, what we suggested to them to do. So if you find it of interest, make sure to subscribe and comment below what other brand you want us to do next.
Hi, my name's Liam. I'm a strategist / editor for Creative Launch. I had previously done some work for Brez when we were partnered up with you guys, doing some strategies for your ads, and also made a bunch of ads that got put into the ad account. And what we're doing here is just a series for our current and past clients that kind of just, takes a quick look at their ad account, seeing what's working, and then taking a look at your guys' content and seeing just what could be leveraged better, talking about ads that you can make right now with the content you have, and also some more experimental approaches. So some quick thoughts here, and something we started to execute towards the end of our partnership in Brez, is how to take your winners and really milk them to make even more successful ads. For example, this is someone that performed very well in your ad account. I believe she was called Salty Blonde, but this is a video of her just trying Brez for the first time. I know that you guys posted this raw clip. It was like a 2-minute video into your ad account. It performed pretty well. So what we did here is we took this video, condensed it to about a minute just to get all the important moments, and then made 5 different cuts with different hooks. And I'll show you what that kind of looks like. Here's one iteration.
Brighter colors, louder laughter, and tastier snacks are often rewarded. Today is the day I'm finally...
So there's one, kind of just like a hook that gives you a brief summary of what that product is. And here's a different alternative of that.
It's just a light, nice feeling where I feel like I could go out and be social. Today is the day I'm finally gonna try these
So then there's an alternate version where you just take part of the video and you put it up front to kind of see what part of the video is really going to resonate with your audience. We did that quite a few times. Here's another alternative of this where it was a different video of this successful influencer, and we paired it with another top performer, which is this mocktail style videos. So you kind of have this dual grid here.
I've been a little nervous, so we waited till Friday night to really get crazy. We're not gonna get crazy.
So that way you can kind of see a little reaction to what the product is, and you also have this stylistic appeal with the product. So the whole idea behind taking that winner and then chopping it up is to just see why that winner is a winner. Maybe you'll find out that people just really resonate with the speaker here, who is the Salty Blonde in the ad account. And then from there, you can just kind of pepper on other elements. Like here, we turned that into a 3 grid where we took her and we paired that with 2 of your best performing statics. Another approach could be, maybe it's just the script is very good. You would then take the script you gave like one influencer and maybe give it to a man or give it to a younger woman, just to really like discern what was the success element of this creative and how can I apply that across my entire ad account. So now jumping into the content, this is a premiere sequence that I have from when we worked on Brez. So when I look at this sequence, what I see is just a lot of different reaction style footage of people kind of just talking about like their personal experience with alcohol, why they quit, and why Brez has made such an impact in their life. When I see footage like this is a lot of what our brands kind of deal with, just this like personal stories that make the viewer want to like be in that person's position and just like finding that relatability there. So I'm just going to go into how this content could be leveraged by showing some examples of what we did during our time at Brez. This video right here is just like it gets like 3 to 4 different people trying the drink and then sharing their reactions to it.
This is a microdose drink, which is an alcohol alternative.
I heard it just makes you feel euphoric and just happy really quick.
We're gonna try it today.
I'm gonna take you guys for a ride. I'll let you know my thoughts.
Cheers.
So yeah, this kind of video kind of just like takes you along for the ride, as like the speaker said. People are going to be invested in this because they see like right here in the hook, I think she introduces that this is a microdose drink, and now they'll see all these people try it, kind of share their reactions towards the end, and it's kind of a whole journey that people are going to relate to, and they're going to now want to be in that same position. Here, this is more of a mashup of different UGC that you guys sent over. Just people talking about why they stopped drinking and why this is like a great alternative.
Microdose mushrooms in a can, and it's completely legal. I don't like to drink because it makes me.
So like hooks like that, I think perform really well, where you're just like microdose mushrooms in a can. That's such like an out there sentence. It's gonna get people invested.
I don't like to drink because it makes me feel disgusting.
I've been drinking this instead of going out to the bar.
3 of these, and I'm good for the night.
Gets rid of brain fog, helps you focus more.
So yeah, this kind of structure here is how I would tackle a lot of these ads, kind of like putting the problems at the forefront, just saying like drinking makes me feel disgusting. I have been trying this instead. I do this instead of going out to the bar, and then you get more to the benefits, like gets rid of brain fog, helps you focus more, perfect way to unwind. Starting with that like problem to solution approach at first, and then sprinkling in the benefits. So now what I want to touch on is how you can take content like this, which is like very reactionary, like talking head kind of footage, people just talking to their iPhone, and stretch that out into different formats. So this is something we did for an underwear brand. This is a single story speaker that we took and overlaid with B-roll to kind of highlight different benefits and just walk the viewer through like a story. So I'll just play a bit of that.
I refuse to gatekeep the best gift on the market. You would not believe how terrible my husband's underwear drawer looked. Everything was outdated. Everything was unflattering on him. Stumbled across the Shinesty ball hammock underwear. So I decided to get him some as a joke. Joke gone right. He will only wear this brand.
But yeah, that's just to show that there's a lot of different ways you can take just a simple kind of reactionary iPhone video, put it in a different format and completely change the context. Here's another example of a popular format we do, which is 3 reasons why you should use this product. This is for a custom pillow. Pretty much all this content is just reactions to people opening up the pillows. Here's kind of how we took that and leveraged it into a 3 reasons why format.
3 reasons you should gift a custom pillow this Christmas. Reason 1, you'll get the biggest emotional reaction.
Oh my god, it's so It's so cute.
Reason 2, everyone will wonder how you did it.
How did you do that?
What in the world?
So yeah, as you see, you can kind of retextualize reactions or UGC by having these kind of like this 3 reasons why, giving everything like a title. We create these alternative talking points that are like 3 reasons you should do this by using a text to AI software that has worked really well and has gotten good performance in ad accounts. Another example is taking your B-roll and leveraging against a competitor. I could see you guys doing this this kind of format with like alcohol, showing like Brez on one side and all those benefits, and then showing alcohol on the other side and saying like all the drawbacks. So just give me a quick example here. But yeah, just showing that kind of like comparison view. I just wanted to show these examples to kind of just emphasize how you can take this content in 100 different ways by just recontextualizing it into different formats, like social proof, 3 reasons why, these kind of like us versus them type formats. For example, you could do like a 3 reasons why people are switching to Brez, and then just like show different reactions. People saying, oh, I feel so much like clear at work, I don't have to deal with hangovers. And then like a second reason, just going over about like the taste, and they prefer this so much more than that like hoppy beer flavor. I think there's a lot that you could do with this like 3 reasons why format. Next, I'm just going to jump into some ad concepts that I came up with while looking at your guys' content. A lot of these we had already kind of experimented with when we were making ads for you guys, but I just want to break that down here. Happy to share this as well. This would be like a first time compilation. This would be showing like a different range of people trying Brez for the first time. You have like a woman in her car, you have couples trying it together, and then you just have like a person that's getting progressively more like relaxed and happy as they try it. It'll look a lot like people introducing this is the first time trying Brez, and then kind of just walking the viewer through the process of what that really looks like. Next, you have this, I call it real people, real results. We have professionals kind of just describing mood changes, parent talking about clarity or working or describing like a productivity boost, kind of just showing people in very different scenarios that would usually be relying on alcohol but are trying this healthy alternative, and how it just helps them in their everyday life. You can include some like metrics on screen just to show like improved focus, enhanced clarity. This one is something I think it would work really well, is this Better Morning series. Just kind of like, it's like the anti-hangover ad, just showing how all these people went out and maybe like they went to the bar, but they were drinking Brez, so they felt great the next day. They remembered every conversation, and it was a very meaningful outing to them, opposed to like going out and getting drunk and waking up not remembering what you said, what you talked about. Next, this would be getting kind of more into the science of Brez, just emphasizing, these are some key quotes from the transcript, talking about like the amount of lion's manes in there, the effects, and just like why Brez is just an overall better alternative than alcohol from a scientific standpoint. This could be kind of like a founder-led story, just talking about like we spent years perfecting this formula, here's the science that went into it, then like slicing in some reactions to show like how this made people more social and just feel more clear-minded. Yeah, this would be like a social proof slash kind of how it works style ad, which we would be happy to make and dive more into if you guys were interested in continuing or restarting our partnership. Next, I want to jump into some like innovative ad concepts that I just thought of when I was looking at your guys' content. These would require some specific shoots to get this style of content, but I think these are all things that would really be worth testing and could be turned into a video series that would do really well on TikTok or Instagram. This one is what I call Brez reviews. This would basically be, what I'm imagining is just like a 2-chair style type of interview in like a library or like a very minimalist setting. This would take someone who works for Brez and someone that has never tried Brez, preferably like a student or just someone like in their mid-20s, targeting like a younger audience, but having these people go through an interview process where the person who's never tried Brez before is actively consuming Brez throughout the interview and kind of indicating the changes they're feeling. Here's like a kind of a brief script here. I imagine like this person takes their sip of Brez. They're starting out saying, I've always been like cautious about sharing too much. And then like 15 minutes in, they're starting to feel the effects. They're opening up a bit more. Maybe they're diving more into the relationship with alcohol and realizing that it's like a crutch for connection. And then at the end, they kind of have this epiphany that like, wow, I feel like really great about myself, and I'm social and I'm opening up. Basically all these effects of alcohol without like feeling bad about myself at the end of it. I think I could like really dive into this more with you guys if you want to talk about it. Taking advantage of like the recent wave of podcasts doing really well and just showing this like impactful product through that lens. This one I'm also very interested in, which would be a social experiment. Basically, you would take two groups of people and throw them into like a bar, social gathering kind of setting. There would be the group that is drinking Brez, and there would be the group that's drinking alcohol. You would create like a juxtaposition between these two groups, and I break that more down in the script. There could be like timestamps, a drink counter. So you have this, you can emphasize it through different metrics. Here we have like conversation comparison, showing how the Brez group really had like an 8.7 minute conversation opposed to the alcohol group that had a 2.3 minute conversation. The Brez group is diving more into deeper conversation topics, and while the alcohol group is having like very surface level, unmemorable conversations. Talking about like the type of topics recalled, the Brez group remembers much more than the alcohol group. Showing like the wind down period of like people in the Brez group making plans that they're actually going to follow through on the next day, opposed to the alcohol group that's making all these plans for the next day when they're really just going to be rotting in bed, hungover, unable to do anything. Yeah, I think you could just get really experimented with like metrics here and showing like, yeah, next day productivity, memory retention, and just showing like how Brez is a much better alternative to alcohol. So I just also want to dive quickly into how I think you could have like platform specific strategies for Brez. I think for TikTok, people are going to be very curious in seeing the effects. I see like a lot of things on TikTok Shop of people like questioning if this thing actually works, and then trying it in the video and then being like, wow, this is great, promoting it to their audience eats it up. So kind of like these like quick before after mood comparisons. Instagram, I think this would be more like the aesthetic kind of like mocktail videos you guys make, kind of leveraging as Brez as like this viral drink that you can like combine with these different things and create this like really great tasting but also effective mocktail. I could really see like, yeah, Reels focusing on like mixology and mocktails would do really well there. LinkedIn diving more into like the science of things, like research on lion's mane, more like founder stories, just like giving more background to like why you guys made Brez and some like metrics to back your science. And then YouTube, these could just be more like influencer partnerships with like detailed product reviews. Maybe there's some like behind the scenes like manufacturing of Brez, or you guys like giving that out in like a public setting and just like showing people's different reactions. You could also chop that up and throw that on your Instagram and TikTok. People always love to see like live reactions to things. That about covers everything I wanted to go over. If you guys are interested in hearing more about like ad concepts you can do now with your content, or if any of those experimental concepts excited you, I'm happy to dive further into that. But yeah, I think we could really help you guys out again in 2025. We've gotten a lot more brands under our belt, gotten to experiment with a lot more different formats. And yeah, I'd be really interested in seeing what we can do for you guys. So thank you for taking the time for watching, and I hope you found something meaningful in this video.